Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of CCW Insider. I am one of your CCW correspondents, Tyler Cashmere, here joined by my broadcast colleagues. We got the Axeman, Axel Rome, the man that gets all the questions. Then we got one of the best in the game at ring announcing. It is none other than the always amazing Lissy Almeida. Guys, how are we feeling? We're coming off a huge week from Rumble in the Jungle and the Nashville show. Axel, what are your thoughts right now?
I mean, there's just so much to really digest after exactly what you said. What went down at Rumble in the Jungle, and then come to find out the results that came in from Nashville, and a lot of things also went down there. We could run to just another half hour talking about a recap if we wanted to of those two shows, but unfortunately that's not this kind of CCW Insider. But what I'm really looking forward to the most is this September to Remember Breakout 40. That's like a monumentous, I think, milestone in it for itself for a breakout show to reach 40 consecutive shows that we've been doing there at the CCW Training Center in Pompano Beach, Florida. Of course, come check it out this Saturday. But what's really even cool is that last year, remember, this was the very same page or the same show that myself and Tyler started working at CCW. And last year, I had the privilege of talking to the winner, Julio Cesar, my very first interview that I've done for the company, and ever since then I have not looked back. Tyler, I think first night that he was going to try out commentary, or he was helping me out. I don't remember how that night went out for you, my man, but let's just walk a little bit about a year ago. Where were we? What were you doing?
A year ago is my second week in CCW. Actually, my second show I called. My first show was one of the Homestead shows the week before. But yeah, second show I called, me and Dan on commentary. Got to call that amazing moment with Julio Cesar just winning that $5,000 check. It was really, for us, a September to remember. You know, it was in the name, and it's awesome to see this show. And man, this Breakout 40 card, it is stacked. Lissy, how are we just feeling, man? The last territory since you joined, it's just growing so much.
Nonstop, every weekend. Definitely excited for September to Remember, one of my favorite matches. I don't get to work a lot of breakout shows, but I will be there this Saturday. So very excited for all the action.
And let's not forget the first winner. Sorry to cut you off, Tyler, but let's not forget about the first winner. This will be the third annual September to Remember that we do a $5,000 giant check hanging from the rafters ladder match. With Chris Farrow winning the first time. Lizzie, you were mentioning when we were just getting on here, you were just backstage interviewing at that point in your career with CCW. Let's talk a little bit about Lizzie, the backstage interviewer. I would have loved to have been able to work with you, sister. I think that would have been a cool duo, you and me.
We would have. Well, actually, I was so happy when you guys got there because I was interviewing and I was doing ring announcing, so my life was very hectic during shows. So again, happy CCW anniversary to both of you. Very happy that you're there. Lighten my load a lot, and I have my my partners in crime now. So, but yeah, it was a great time. I distinctly recall interviewing Chris Farrow. He was very excited for the opportunity to just win that $5,000 check, and he did it. So I'm very excited, and I think that anytime that somebody wins like a big tournament style thing like that, like it always puts you at the front. So like I said, whoever wins this year, I hope you make the most of it.
Yeah, I was just going to say, we're excited. The fans are excited. We got some people in the chat here. We got Jody in the chat saying, can I just say I'm in the same place at the same time as Lissy Almeida? So now it's been a good day. Thank you. Look at that. Lissy getting put over in the chat. We got Ryan Davis saying, can we talk about how amazing that QT Marshall world title match was? Ozzy solidified himself as a future world champ. Ryan, what a pitch. What a throw, because you guys got to check that out. CCW, a live YouTube channel, a live TV. It was going off last night, Tuesday. Every Tuesday, 7 o'clock. This time we had that amazing open challenge answered by Ozzy Killmeister, and that place exploded. One of the biggest reactions I had there. I had the privilege of hearing and seeing, and then what a match. I think match of the night for that Bash of the Brew personally. That was just unbelievable. Such fun times right now in the last territory. We're going to be debuting Bash of the Brew 45 in just 2 weeks' times at the Tank Brewery. Got to get your tickets there. We got Breakout this weekend before we get a little bit ahead of ourselves. And yeah, we got some comments here. Meadow is going to destroy QT. That just got announced yesterday, I believe. Team Marshall putting up that CCW Heavyweight Championship against the man that did destroy him at Bash of the Brew 44. Completely assaulted him after that match. Spear after spear. I think was trying to break the world record of consecutive spears.
How many was that? 5?
6. I don't know.
Crazy number. It was a crazy number, regardless.
And look at this. Who do we think will win the $5,000? Well, we will get right into that. You got to stay tuned to Insider because that is your main event. And look at this. Also asking prediction on Eddie's mystery partner. We got all that in store. So you got to stay tuned because we're going to be breaking down everything. But before we get to all that, we got to get to that intro.
Oh, am I the only one dancing this time? Okay.
Cool. It really is such a banger.
Such a banger. So that means CCW Insider has officially started. Welcome everyone here to whether you're watching us on YouTube, whether you're watching us on Twitter or X, or whether you're watching us on Facebook. Thanks for joining us. Like we said, we're going to be breaking down Breakout 40, no pun intended, September to remember, where Tyler mentioned it earlier. Our big main event is going to be that $5,000 ladder match. But before we go in depth with those matches, Tyler, let's begin breaking down our very first match that we're going to be talking about for tonight.
Let's do it. We got September to remember. Breakout 40, unbelievable 40 consecutive breakouts. They have been really those shows that started like, hey, this is the breakout opportunity to like certified shows where you get to see fresh talent. You get to see the core CCW talent. And you get to see these guys just put in the work month in and month out. And this one, I gotta say, it's one of the most stacked breakouts we've seen on paper. Let's just get to one of these tag team matches here. We're using tag team matches. How about we start off with Monster Mosh versus Tony Donati and Hardcore Horvath. These two teams, I can't wait for this because we've seen Monster Mosh and the Heavenly Butterflies. Now we get to see the Heavenly Butterflies have imploded. Tony Donati stabbing Fabu in the back. Now he's got Hardcore Horvath certified as his tag team partner. How is Monster Mosh going to deal with just that heavy man in there? Just going to look to destroy Ozzy and Skits, but easier said than done. Axel, we saw Skits like take out Agony at Bash at the Brew 44. We still don't know what's there. I mean, Skits has some unprecedented strength. Things going to happen in this one.
That's right. Now, we did get to see a little bit more of that dynamic that we were a little interested in Horvath and Donati last week at Rumble in the Jungle, and it was for the CCW Tag Team Championship. So I think it was a great opportunity for them to showcase their skill set as this newly formed tag team. And if I have to do say so myself, I was impressed from being such a new team to how well they were able to transform into a cohesive unit. Because if you are going to take the South American Alliance, whatever variation of the South American Alliance you're going to be, you want to be at your top. And they proved that they were at their top game. They may not have come out as the new champions. However, I think we're going to see a lot more from these two gentlemen, and a great opportunity to taking on a team like Monster Mosh, who has been already very established within our CCW tag team division, as well as respective single careers. But nonetheless, I think there's going to be just a very interesting matchup to see these two teams go head to head, because just how impressed I was from Horvath and Donati, I think that this match could really be anyone's match at this point, and that's going to be the interesting part. Who's going to take it home?
Yeah, it's a big high profile tag team match. You know, you got the South American Alliance right now on top. I think the tag team division's a bit open. We'll get to that. Actually, the tag team titles will be on the line. So I think whoever wins in that later match, you know, you'll look back at this match and see like, okay, who in the tag team division has the momentum? And it's going to be really interesting to see. I love our tag team division. I love the Raw Dogs, Monster Mosh. You got the Kid and the Monster, the Entity. And, you know, speaking, I mean, it's just they add diversity, you know, they add diversity. And you know what they say, Raw Dogs on top. So I don't know. We got to see. But speaking of that tag team division, speaking of September to remember, ladies and gentlemen, we have a very special guest joining us. We have someone that's going to be with us the whole show. He's going to be picking all the matches with us. He is your winner of the 2023 September to Remember ladder match. He is the man that pulled down that $5,000, or should I say he is the kid that pulled down that $5,000. He is South Florida's own. He is Julio Caesar. Look at this man, studious.
Oh, what's up? What's up? I was ready to put my money.
Oh, beautiful.
Hey, the psychology of money.
Did you know you were coming here?
I was just chilling in the back room waiting for you guys to let me in. What's up, guys?
Not much. Thank you so much. I was going to ask, is that your strategy heading into this Saturday's ladder match? Understanding really the psychology of money before you understand the psychology of climbing the ladder to retrieve that giant check? Is there an equivalence?
All I know is that history is going to repeat itself this Saturday night. You see that check hanging up right there?
Wow.
There it is.
Wow.
Times in a row. $10,000 Julio Caesar. All I know is money, man. I'm drinking sparkling water and everything. I'm ready.
Julio Caesar becoming the money man in front of our eyes. Julio, why don't you go ahead and tell the audience, remind them, what did you do when you won that $5,000?
Last year when I won that check, it was with Axel. It was one of the first interviews I had with Axel. And he was like, oh, what do you spend your money on? I spent the money on a car for my grandma because she didn't have a car at the time. And it was hard for us. So it was a really big blessing to get that $5,000 check and break it off with my grandma.
Oh,
Hell yeah. Just an amazing story. That is the kid. He's just full of heart everywhere we go. Anytime he's out there, the audience just goes and supports him 110%. Axel, I know you got a bunch of questions for the kid.
So let's take it back to last year. I mean, it was the very first night that I had met you, very first night that I met Tyler. We discussed a little bit about the emotion of that night, but really let us walk back, because that moment when you grabbed the check, I think the whole place just erupted from just happiness that you were the one who retrieved it. The people who saw as the underdog in last year's match, which I don't think anyone could see you as an underdog this year. You have the experience and you have that check right there hanging right above your head to prove it.
I don't know. You think I can't be considered the underdog still in the ring with a guy like Meta?
I think that you have, well, not that you put it that way. I still give you what I would give them, that experience of them being veterans. You know, now you have that same experience. You have maybe the ins and outs of a ladder match. This isn't your first rodeo, I would like to say. So yeah, I would say that I have a good chance or a good hope that you will actually pull this down 2 years in a row.
I'm glad you said
that. You
that.
surprised everyone. Yeah, you surprised everyone last year. I wouldn't be surprised that you come out on top this year.
That's the plan.
Well, yeah, walk me through the emotion of when you heard the crowd erupt when you won last year.
Oh, it was surreal, man. I had a couple of friends in the crowd. I remember right before I grabbed the check, I heard one of my friends like screaming at the top of hell yeah, whatever. It was a really cool moment. Specifically coming back home with the giant check, and like my whole family was there seeing me with a big old check because they didn't know, they wasn't there the night before. It was like, Julio's off to go wrestle just like every other weekend, but this time I come back with a giant check, so it was pretty cool. I took all my friends out to eat. We went to Wingstop, but other than that, man, it was like a regular old weekend. Just this time I won $5,000.
Wow.
And more importantly, I think that was one of the first monumentous wins for your career. So what did it mean to you to get a win at a breakout show, which is designed to show the future of CCW, the students who are in their day in, day out training, and you finally get to have that big payoff moment where in front of your peers, in front of your friends and family, you get to win such a great match. And of course, great outcome with the $5,000 just being an added bonus, I'd say.
It was awesome. It was like, man, like the pre-show princess. I made it to the main event and won, you know, like I got in there and made my statement. You know, I feel like after that, things just started lining up for me and I felt like I belonged. So it was really important and more of a monumental win. I'd say even more than the money itself. It kind of like solidified me on the roster. So.
And now that you're a little bit more solidified, as you said, we've seen this very odd pairing of you and the Entity. How did that really come about? What's the dynamic? How do you guys really talk to each other? Do you understand him? Does he understand you? What's going on really there?
I feel like I'm the only one that can really understand him. He feels like he's I guess he doesn't fit in with everybody. He was with the NVIDIA and the weird like Spirit Halloween crew for a while. We had a couple matches. His first match was against me in Hialeah. But I've known him for a while, and over time, like we kind of got to know each other pretty well. And Boss Man one day decided to put me with him, and then ever since then, it's just been me and Entity, best friends.
Do you not hold any grudges, or are you the type of man that, you know what, let bygones be bygones? As far as, because Julio, if I remember correctly, some of the very first matches that I did see you at some of the bashes was when Entity would just come out and just throw you around, brother. And I was so concerned for your well-being. But now it seems that you've let things go and trust him enough to be your tag partner.
It's all business. At the end of the day, when we're in that ring, we're trying to win. I don't hold any grudges. I don't carry any hate in my heart. So, I mean, he seems like he's changed, and we get along well now. So I have no reason to hold a grudge.
And I'll open the floor up to Lizzie and Tyler, but I just want to lastly ask you about the very interesting dynamic of your guys' styles. I mean, you have a giant like the Entity, and then Julio Caesar, who I would say stands at an average height, everyone, very average height. But just some of the moves that you guys are able to do, where he takes you up on his shoulders. How do you come up with these type of arsenals for your now newly formed team?
Right then and there, I see it, and it's just like, let's do it. And he's cool with it. We're friends, man. We're like on the same page. You know, right then and there, we call it, and it is what it is.
And Tyler, Lizzie, anything that you guys would like to add?
Sure. So I have some questions in the chat. I'm not sure if I'm going to regret asking them for. Sorry. The questions are very funny. Johnny, I'm sorry, I'm not going to ask him that. So let's see. This is a good one. We have one from Rocco Davila. So Rocco wants to know, what's the tag team name? And I will pause and say, if you don't have one, what do you want it to be, or are you guys going to have one?
We've decided, little and large.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we do this. We were doing it in our last match in Hialeah, and the crowd was into it. It was like,
Okay.
he put it to his forehead. We try not to do that because it's like loser. Right? He don't think like we think, but you know, little and large. That's our group name.
Okay, little and large.
Little and large.
We'll see
I like it.
We'll get the consensus from the next couple of shows, but I think that name is going to stick. I like that, little and large.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you, Rocco.
Good trial and error. Okay, so down to real business. So Julio, coming into this weekend, you're talking about going back to back 10 Julio 10K, or we'll think of the name later, right? Do you feel like there's a target on your back coming into this as the defending September to Remember winner?
Absolutely. I feel like every single match with Meadow that I've ever had, we've had like 4 now. I feel like there is a super big target on me. I feel like he just sees like, I don't know, like a little teddy bear or something. Like he's the way he is, and I'm the way I am. So I feel like things are gonna go south for me, especially with being in the ring with so many other veterans, and I'm the new guy. I feel like they're probably going to, want to take advantage of that, try to take me out early. So, yeah, I do feel like there is a target on my back.
Well, on the topic of that, Tyler, if you can just pop up the graphic, let's go a little bit and break down, since we have Julio here with us, some of the competitors that you were talking about. I mean, you have Chris Farrell, again, the winner of the inaugural ladder match. So you have someone as well with that little bit of experience that I was talking earlier about yourself. You did mention Neto, Danny Briggs, but also Alan Estuas Martinez. You have a bunch of these high flyers in the ring when you have Chris and Alan in the ring. So people more ground-based, I'd say, is Danny Briggs and Neto, but of course the power strength with them. What do you think that you bring to the table when you see this roster of superstars that you're going to be in the ring with?
what do I think I bring to the table? I don't see myself as aerially gifted as Chris Farrow or Alan Estues Martinez, although we may share size and stuff. And I don't see myself as muscularly or size gifted as I see Meadow or Briggs. So I'm kind of in a spot where I'm the outlier. And
are you burying yourself? What's going on here?
What was that?
Are you burying yourself? Like, what is going on here?
It's the truth. I just don't see myself competing in those areas. But what I can see myself competing with is the desire to win. Opportunistic. That is what I am as a wrestler. So although I may not be, like I said, as gifted as the other competitors in the ring, although I may have less experience, I'll do anything to win. And that's how I won last year. And that's how I'm going to win this year.
Yeah, just to jump in here. I mean, you look at this September to Remember ladder match. This is definitely the most elite group of guys in the history of September to Remember ladder match. Our previous ladder matches have been stacked. Don't get me wrong, but we're talking about the two best high flyers here in the last territory. We're talking about Meadow, the most dominant champion we've seen. We're talking about Danny Briggs, a vet with over 20 years of experience, has been in WWE, one of the hardest hitters in wrestling. And then you got Julio Caesar. Now, a lot of people look at that lineup and they'll be like, Julio, they'll doubt Julio Caesar. But when I tell you that I'm on commentary, it was my second match I called, and I seen Julio Caesar in there. Last year was against other 5 guys. I've never seen someone just keep on fighting back, keep on crawling, scraping by, and somehow just pulling it out with that. Also, not forget, Rumble 7, Julio Caesar was with Little and Large, with the entity, and they pushed 5-Star Era to their limits, almost winning, causing 5-Star Era had to bend all the rules there to get that win against Julio and against the entity. Little and Large, Large will not be there, but do not count out Julio in this match, because I know I've made the mistake of doing it on commentary because you see Julio. But I'm telling you, when he walks out there, it's a different energy. The whole crowd's behind him. He gets this look in his eyes. You think he's getting thrown on his head. He's getting his chest chopped in, but he just keeps coming back at you. And I just can't wait for this one, Julio. Now, you've already experienced this ladder match. Are you doing tape study? Are you doing your due diligence right now? Are you coming up with game plans for this?
Absolutely. I have a whole whiteboard full of ideas. I've been thinking about it.
There we go. That's what we like to see. Writing down some notes, taking down some tape, watching some old NXT of Danny Briggs, watching S2S and Chris Farrow going at it. But yeah, I mean, these ladder matches, they're just so damn dangerous. I hope everyone in the match the best of luck, to stay injury free, because we want to see all our guys stay healthy. But man, it is a hard match. Yeah, it's a hard match that takes a lot of things out of people. Let's look at the comments here.
Can I ask some fun questions to Julio?
Yes.
Okay,
and look at this. Read the comment real quick.
Whoa!
Sunset Flip.
I love this.
Sunset Flip.
Okay, Julio, really quick, rapid fire. You ready?
Oh, yes.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Brett or Sean?
Brett.
NWO or DX?
DX.
Lita or Trish?
Lita.
Ooh.
Raw or SmackDown?
SmackDown, 100%.
Coke or Pepsi?
Coke.
New Bloodline or OG Bloodline?
OG Bloodline.
Johnny or Lacey?
Oh man, she just snuck that one in there.
Johnny, wait. Johnny be good?
Yeah.
Oh man. Oh man.
Are you joking me?
Wait, on what scale? On what scale? Like, who do I love
Brother,
more?
we only have one scale. Nah, it's too long. It's too long.
No, that's a hard one.
Now I'm gonna have Dan bury you on commentary next time. Just for that. You failed.
The kid has heart, but it's just not enough.
Way to be put on the hot seat by Lizzie here. But any other things that you might want to be on the lookout. I remember a specific moment last year when you were just body slammed on top of the ladder. Is there anything that you're going to be wanting to avoid in order for you to be able to climb up the ladder at the end of the day to retrieve that check?
Well, obviously, I mean, I'm going to be trying to avoid any sort of pain that anyone tries to inflict on me, especially if it involves ladders. Fun fact about me getting body slammed on that ladder last year, it straightened my back out. I had a lot of back pain up until that point. It kind of set me straight. So, I mean, I got back pain right now. It might help out, but
why go to a chiropractor? Just go into a ladder match and just get your back straightened out.
That's what I'm saying. But no, definitely gonna look out for all the competitors in that match because I don't know where to stay. I mean, I might want to avoid the corners and the ropes. I might see Allen coming out, turn around, catch a right from Briggs. I don't know, but I'm gonna go in there and try to do my best.
Beautiful. Before we move on, anything else that you guys would like to ask Julio before we go on to our next match?
Nah, we got beef now.
After
Lissy's rapid fire questions, no, I don't think.
Since I wouldn't even put it past any doubt, Julio, that the sixth competitor that you got to be on the lookout for is going to be Lizzie. She's going to be at ringside, brother. She's going to be calling. She's going to be ring announcing. You don't know if Lizzie might just take off those heels, get in the ring, pull a quick leg out of it.
$5,000 check.
Watch your neck.
She might push that ladder down, brother. You better hold on to that check. But guys, we got to move on to the next match. Julio, I believe you're going to stick around and give us your picks on some of these. Awesome. Let's go to some women's action. We got Carolina Cruz versus Sofia Sivan. Now, Sofia made her debut in the last territory, I believe 2 weeks ago. Carolina Cruz got a win. Sofia got a win. Axel, why don't you break down this women's match for us?
So just like you mentioned, both Sofia and Carolina Cruz were victorious at her last Conquer Kissimmee. So both these women are coming fresh off of these two victories. Both women wanting to be the new hot thing here in CCW. Carolina taking some offense to Sofia Sivan, thinking that she could just show up and proclaim that title. So a lot riding on this match, not only to really get that attention from maybe CCW management, but it's very just a good another win here in CCW. Always a good thing when it comes to going up the ranking leaderboards to earn another opportunity for the CCW Women's Championship that I know that Carolina Cruz has been waiting for patiently after time. She's been picking up win after win after win. So I think she thinks at this point this is just another match needed to win, another match that she needs to win in order to prove to Ruthie that she's hot on her trail.
Yeah, and also just diving a little bit more into this match, Sofia Sivan, very early into her career. I mean, Carolina Cruz is a year into her career, but I mean, Sofia Sivan makes Carolina Cruz look like an in-ring veteran, just with this is like maybe her first handful matches. I know here in the last territory be her third, Axel, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah, so I mean, very early in her career. But, man, she has the power. She has the strength advantage in almost all the matches she steps in. That girl puts the work in the gym. And I know Carolina Cruz, it's going to be that classic battle of how's Carolina Cruz going to use her speed, keep her distance, pick her shots, and get the win. Or is Sofia just going to overpower her and get this big win at September to remember? That's one we'll have to see. Let's go on to our next match. We got the new Southeastern champion, Domino, defending that Southeastern Championship against the leader of the pack, the Raw Dog, Fer Rojas. I love this match. Domino has been going at it ever since he debuted with the Raw against the Raw Dogs. I mean, you had Elliot Crow and Domino getting that backstage brawl. Domino's always been back and forth with the Raw Dogs. Now, Fer Rojas looking to take that Southeastern Championship away from Domino. But now we know anywhere Domino goes, he's going to have that crowd advantage. Lissy, will that be enough for Domino having the crowd behind him? Or will Fer Rojas pull up an upset and become new Southeastern champion?
At this point, I'm really just trying to understand, who did Fer Rojas bribe or whatever to get booked like this? Like, I'm just shocked.
The Raw Dogs have some pull around the last territory, it looks like.
What is happening? I don't even want to assess this, but
I mean, to be fair, Fer Rojas at Rumble Jungle 8, he did get the pinfall victory, so we do have to keep that in mind. So that getting wins here does count.
This is not sanctioned. Okay. Anyway, yeah, I mean, all jokes aside, Fer Rojas has been, on his way up. He has the lovely Shelly Benson by his side. I think that, anytime you have a manager like that, that's willing to get physical and things like that, it always helps you. It always gives you that advantage. But Adrian, sorry, I said Adrian. Wow, I'm reading the comments. I'm reading the comments and someone, Adrian Castro, taking this home. Okay. Domino definitely is on a roll. Won the big win for him at the last bash. I think that he's just on such a winning streak right now. And Fair, you're not ready for Domino right now.
Oh man, look, the heat between Lissy and the Raw Dogs continue on. Saying
It's
Fair is
for life.
for life. I don't know if Fair is ready or not. I mean, I think any one of the Raw Dogs are ready to become champion. I think if they just put it all together, it will happen one day. But that is a big question if it will happen at September to remember. But I think if we look at Domino, I think this is when winning that championship becomes real interesting, because it's one thing to go out there on your biggest night at the last bash of the brew, you get the biggest win in your career, and you become Southeastern champion. Now this is the part in his championship reign where he gets to carve out his legacy. How is Domino's Southeastern championship reign going to compare to those of the previous ones of Jackal, Alex Chamberlain, some of the greats here in the last territory? This is where Domino gets to put his name in the history books. He gets to pick up these wins. We already seen him defend it. He was successful against Eddie Valentine at Rumble the Jungle 8 last week. And now this is where we get to see a big test in Fer Rojas. Fer Rojas, a young guy. You got to be careful with the other members of the Raw Dogs, including Shelly Benson. So it's something that Domino has to keep his head on his swivel. But I think he goes in there prepared like he always is. He walks out victorious. But again, these tests are going to be coming at Domino, and he's going to have to be prepared week in, week out, because that's just how it is in the last territory. There's no breaks in the last territory. Can't wait for that big championship match. But moving on next, let's go to this. We got a little bit of mystery here. We got Eddie Valentine and a partner of his choosing taking on Jackal Stevens and Joe Garcia. Axel, you actually were there. You caught it where Jackal actually talked to Joe backstage and said, hey, Joe, you know what you need to do? You need to go out there, interfere in Eddie Valentine's match, and prove a statement. Joe Garcia was like, you know what? Yeah, I am going to go out there and do it. We saw it costing Eddie Valentine that match. So Jackal and Joe Garcia already getting along. We're going to see a little bit of chemistry, but Eddie Valentine knows both these men very well, have stepped in the ring with them multiple times. Former best friend, Joe Garcia. So let's throw it to Julio Cesar, a man that's been in the ring with all three of these guys, knows these guys well. One, Julio, who do you think is going to be that mystery partner? And two, who do you think walks out victorious?
I think I'm going to answer with who comes out victorious first, because that mystery partner could be anybody. But I'm going to have to give it to Jackal and Joe. It looks like they're going to have the one up on Eddie and whoever he decides to come with, because like you said, they seem to have a lot of chemistry together already. And Joe's really, really, really got something to prove against Eddie. He's like got his blood on his hands. So he's got to come for Eddie. But I don't. Axel, really? Nah.
No, I don't see myself as a Knight Rider type.
Somebody asked me if it was going to be me. Somebody asked me, no interest. But
like
the
chat saying Big
cool,
AJ. Eddie's his debut.
Eddie's too mean. I don't know. Who do you think is going to be it?
Man, you know what? We've seen him tag up before in some 6-man action. I think Alex Chamberlain's a good pick. Yeah, I think Chamberlain's a good pick there.
Yeah, that'd be the wise pick.
And that's a dangerous team. That changes a lot of things.
Yeah, they've been a team for a while. They've been teaming up for a while. I want to say like a wild card though. I hope it's like someone crazy we haven't seen in a long time or something.
It's Axel.
Maybe it's me.
I'll probably have to go with Chamberlain too.
Yeah, that would be some smart money there, saying Chamberlain just because of the experience with him and Eddie Valentine, and that changes this whole match. That is a dangerous duo. guys that are experienced tagging together. And that really puts this match in question. And that's what's so awesome when you have a mystery partner. You never know. Jackal and Joe are trying to prepare for any different situation going into this. It is going to be a tag team match that not only is full of, speculation and surprise, but, there's still bad blood between Joe Garcia and Eddie Valentine. It might not matter who the mystery partner is. These two might just go and destroy each other. It might be a singles match between Jackal and a mystery opponent. We don't know. This one could get thrown out. Joe Garcia and Eddie Valentine hate each other now. And, they can't wait to get their hands on each other at Bash of the Brew 45. But here at September to Remember, they're going to be in that tag team match. We will see if they will listen to the rules and actually if we're going to get a clean-cut winner. I doubt it. Those two hate each other. We got to keep going on this card. Let's go to a big-time singles match. Cha-Cha Charlie versus Mike Reed. Cha-Cha is your Tennessee heavyweight champion. And, man, we gotta look. Is Cha-Cha a Grand Slam champ? Has Cha-Cha won every single championship in the last territory? Southeastern champion, multiple-time heavyweight champion, now Tennessee champion. I think has he won the tag team?
I don't think he's won the tag team.
I don't think he's won the tag title just yet.
He's not a tag team act.
Yeah. So yeah, I think we'll have to go back to history books, but he might have not won the tag team championships. That might be the only thing that's stopping him for the Grand Slam win. But let's go back to the singles. He's taking on Mike Reed. Now, Mike Reed, we've seen him a couple times here in the last territory, but let me tell you something. The guy's a 20-year vet. He has seen it all, done it all. This is a guy we're talking about, one of the first ever people to show up on the same week on WWE television, AEW television. He's appeared on AEW multiple times. He really has that technical hybrid style that, he could pull a win out of anywhere. And now he's coming back to the last territory. He's going to be taking on Cha-Cha Charlie. The franchise, Cha-Cha loves measuring himself up against newcomers, people from the outside that really aren't used to the last territory. And Cha-Cha puts on his A game now. He's got this Tennessee championship over his shoulder, got another target on his back, and he is going to be looking to defeat Mike Reed, but it's going to be easier said than done. Axel, who do you think is walking away Tennessee champion?
I'm just going to have to say Cha-Cha Charlie because he just came off from this win at Music City Fight Night in Nashville against Sean Hoodrich. I don't see this title reign of Cha-Cha Charlie anytime soon. I think, in fact, this title reign for Cha-Cha Charlie has maybe reinvigorated this energy in Cha-Cha that he now wants to make sure. Please don't. I have high hopes that Cha-Cha won't die because he's used to this type of environment where we maybe throw someone that maybe isn't a CCW regular here, but no matter who he's put inside the ring with, you always know that Cha-Cha Charlie is going to deliver the best match of the night, and I think that's what's going to set him apart from his opponent, Mike Reed, just because of that lack of experience. I'm not really too familiar with what maybe Mike Reed has been doing in the times that he's been away from CCW, but I know what Cha-Cha Charlie has been doing. He's been busting his ass here in Florida, busting his ass in Tennessee now, so that's why my pick is going to be for Cha-Cha.
It's going to be a big match. Do not sleep on Mike Reed, though. He could surprise a couple people. But moving on in the card, we got the 5-Star Era taking on the CCW Tag Team Champions South American Alliance. Now, this one is interesting. This is a big-time match for a Breakout. Breakout always gets big matches, but this has been building up because it seems like 5-Star Era the past couple months, they have been chopping at the bit to get their tag team title opportunity. They missed it against the Crown. Missed it afterwards when the Crown lost the tag team championships. Then they finally get a shot, but it's in a 4-way TLC tag team match. ERA gets injured. And, they compare themselves to Dwayne Wade and LeBron, but they just haven't gotten invited to the chip yet, according to them. So now this is their opportunity. They are at the big game. This is it. They get their shot against the South American Alliance, who the South American Alliance survived that TLC tag team match. They have been defending those belts, and now their biggest challenge yet, 5-Star Era. I'm going to go to Julio, who's just in the ring against 5-Star Era. Who do you think has the edge going into this one?
I think the South American Alliance. They've got that title won like how long ago was it? Like a month ago that they won that. Yeah.
About 3 weeks ago. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they've been on a hot roll ever since. I've seen them defending those titles pretty much at every show we've had since then, and it seems like they're not going to end their run anytime soon. So I'm gonna have to give it to the South American Alliance. Although I will say that the 5-star era, they've been working really, really hard, and like you said, they feel like they haven't really got what's due to them. So maybe they might pull it off because it feels like they have like an extra edge on them this weekend. But still, South American Alliance, definitely.
Yeah, and both teams coming off a big momentum from Rumble in the Jungle 8, South American Alliance getting their tag team win. Then both ERA and Ricky Martinez getting their singles match wins. And, man, I got to say, a 5-star era is always dangerous. But a motivated 5-star era is even that more dangerous. You know, thankfully, for South American Alliance, what they have working for them is that Freebird rule. S2S was last week. This week we will see Ariel Levy. But the big Brazilian destroyer, he's been taking some hits. He has been taking some punishment. How much more can the Giant take? I think that this will be the big test. This will be that big hump of how long will this title reign be. If they lose, this is their match to lose. If they lose here, then 5-star era finally gets their goal. They finally live up to what they've been saying. But man, if South American Alliance can survive the 5-star era, survive this month, I think they're going to have a very long title reign. It's going to be one of the most important matches in their title reign, I think, and I can't wait for it. This breakout, absolutely stacked. And then we go back to our main event. And anytime we do a main event here in Insider, we do a round table. We got to put in our official picks. We broke down the match. Let's start off with Lissy. Who do you think's walking away with the $5,000 this year? No pressure with Julio Cesar being here.
No. He's going down. Okay,
It's not
screw
happening.
that guy. Can you put the graphic back up, please, T? Okay. So I'm just gonna take this one by one here. So Julio Cesar, I don't have anything good to say about you. You're out. Chris Farrow won 2 years ago. I think that Chris Farrow has been. Not saying that he doesn't need it, because obviously everybody wants money and stuff like that. But I feel like for that type of breakout type of moment, no pun intended, Chris Farrow has had a lot of those moments already, right? We have Meadow front and center. Meadow just attempted murder on QT a few weeks back. Meadow is unstoppable. Meadow is definitely going to be a force in this type of match, right? We have Danny Briggs, who is coming off of an excellent few months in the Lost Territory. He's been almost at every single show. Tag team champions with Stallion Rogers. Lost that at Last Bash in a very controversial fashion. I mean, it's so hard to retain a title in a 4-way ladder match like that. So Danny Briggs still looking very strong coming off of this summer. And then we have Alan S2S Martinez defending tag team champion as part of that, Freebird group of the South American Alliance right now. And he has a lot going on as well. But at the end of the day, summer, I'm going to steal your line here, Tyler. The summer of S2S, is it over, or is he going to get one big win to finish that? I'm going to conservatively say that my big pick for this one is Danny Briggs.
Oh, what a curveball there.
Curveball, right?
Danny Briggs is Lissy's Almeida's pick. Hey, I think he's the one with the most in-ring experience there. He's been to the top of the mountain. He knows what it takes to win a ladder match. And yeah, that is one solid pick. Now let's go to Axel Rome. Who do you got?
I think that the true winners here are all going to be all of us, because we're going to experience a great ladder match.
No, you can't do this.
But if I have to choose one, I'm going to bet my money on our guest who's joining us here in CCW Insider. He's going to pull off not an upset. He's going to pull off the shocking surprise of winning 2 years in a row, using that $5,000 to buy his mom a car, to buy his auntie a car, to buy whomever he needs a car this year, or whatever he wants to spend the money on. I think Julio Cesar is going to surprise everyone once again, and not thinking that he's not going to pull it off 2 years in a row. And then boom, what is he going to do? He's going to climb up that ladder and retrieve that $5,000 cash check. And once again, reign victorious here in September to remember. And I think everyone is going to look back at this moment here on CCW Insider and say, you know what? Axel was right.
That is the plan.
Axel with the big pick. Julio, I'm not going to ask you who you think's going to win, because you should damn sure know you're going to win. But let me ask you this: what are you going to do now with that $5,000 when you win?
I'm just going to keep it going, keep the ball rolling. I'm gonna go buy my aunt a car.
There you go.
I'm gonna go in a match, and I might buy my mom a car, and my cousin and my sister, and whoever else it may be. But let's keep the ball rolling.
Now, you're not the only man who thinks you're gonna win that match, because actually, we do have a video of a man that said what he's gonna do with that $5,000 here to wrap us up.
Alan Estuez Martinez, what would you do with $5,000?
Oh my God! What? Well, for sure, I will send that to Chile. How much is it? 5,000. Enviar esos $5,000 para mi Chile, para mi mamita, que te amo. Saluda a mi gente en Chile, que sí se puede. Sí se puede.
Oh, that was so cute.
Yeah, and how fitting we got that video in, because Alan S2S Martinez, the leader of the Si Se Puede movement, Lissy, you proposed a question. The summer of S2S needs one last bang. I'm sorry, Julio Cesar, but he just won his team just won a ladder match. They have the momentum. I think South American Alliance gets this $5,000 check. S2S brings it home. Si se puede. Julio, better bring your A game. You're going in there with absolute studs. You're going in there with future legends. Got to bring everything, my man.
I definitely will. Definitely will.
And you know what, ladies and gentlemen, I think that has wrapped up this Insider. We ran through everything. Julio Cesar, thank you so much for joining us. Best of luck Saturday in that ladder match. It's going to be crazy. I'll be on commentary. Hey, we could do a repeat. Last year I was calling the kid winning it all. We could do a repeat this year. And fans, the only way you can see that is if you go to ccwrestlingfl.com and get your tickets. Axel, why don't you wrap us up?
That's right. Like Tyler said, get your tickets online or at the door at the CCW training facilities where we're going to be at this Saturday in Pompano. Special pre-show matches usually start around 7:30, so definitely get there early and also save yourself the hassle of finding somewhere to park, as well as get there in time for 8 o'clock. Our show will start. Best wishes to all of us, like Ezra said, to every competitor, like Ezra said. Of course, I'm rooting for each and every one of you guys at the end of the day, but I know that the true winners will be the fans, no matter who actually wins that cash. That's going to be the motto that we're going to go into this Saturday, right, guys? Everyone's a winner, no matter who actually retrieves the physical $5,000. You're all winners. You're all winners. But thanks for joining us here on CCW Insider. Stay up to date with everything that you need to know about CCW online, whether that be on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram at CCW Alive TV. Also, watch every Tuesday at 7 CCW Live Wrestling on our YouTube channel. That's at Coastal Championship Wrestling. And of course, lastly, join us here next week on CCW Insider 7:30 as we break down Breaking Chains that will take place Friday, October 4th, and then followed by our inaugural debut at the Tank Brewing Bash at the Brew 45. We'll have all that full recap for you next week here on CCW Insider. So join us at 7:30.
You have been watching CCW Insider, produced by